Hi Europe and beyond, it's Eurovision Ireland and we're back with another review of the songs from the 2022 Eurovision Song Contest. As you'll know from our first review, we're picking a number of songs, we're going to talk about them, give them a score, see what we think their chances are. Now, I better introduce the team because we have a guest with us this week. First of all, we've got Sarah.
Hi everyone.
We've got Bogdan.
Hi everyone.
We've got James.
Hi everyone.
We've got Richard.
Hiya.
And we've got our guest Lisa. Lisa, how are you doing this fine review?
Hello, yeah, I'm doing well. Hi everyone, nice to see you back.
Just tell us a bit about who you are and what your interest in Eurovision is. This is your first review with us.
And it is my first review. I used to be with Eurovision Ireland, so people who've been with Eurovision Ireland and following for many years will remember me. And then I've sort of gone off and done other things. Now working on a radio show called what's it called? All Out Eurovision. I don't even remember what my radio show is called. And that goes out sort of across the UK and this year Gibraltar as well. So we're stretching out across the continent and now online on radio in Gibraltar too. So excited about that for this year.
Excellent. Thanks. Now the 6 songs we're going to look at tonight are the ones from Estonia, Latvia, Lithuania, Malta, Norway, and Poland. That's just them in alphabetical order. It's not a preferential thing. So the first one we're going to review is Norway, and that's Give That Wolf a Banana by Subwoolfer. And it's been written by Keith and Jim. It could be the guys down the pub for all we know. And it's performing in the first semi-final in Turin. And Sarah's going to kick off with this one. Off you go, Sarah.
I am indeed. Well, where do I start with this? Obviously, there's had lots of publicity over social media, all the Eurovision fan websites, and I was wondering what it was all about. I decided not to look at any previews until I blogged the Norwegian semi-finals and the final. And I have to say, I wasn't sure beforehand whether to feel sort of enthusiastic, excited, or terrified by the things I was reading. But when I came to look at the performance, I have to say, yes, you've got the yellow wolf masks, you've got sort of people with their heads covered in yellow materials, sunglasses over their eyes. It's really quite quirky, and they've absolutely got the choreography to a T. It's very slick, it's catchy. It's the kind of song that I think is going to divide Europe, really. It's going to be one of those, you either love it or you hate it. Part of me didn't really want to like it, but I actually found myself tapping my foot to it while I was watching it and blogging at the same time. I just thought, this is going to go big with the televote. It really is. I'm not so convinced that the juries are going to give it as much love, but definitely a televoter. And I don't think Norway are going to have any problems getting through to the final with this.
Thanks, Sarah. Bogdan, Give That Wolf a Banana.
I must agree with Sarah. I think it's just a crowd pleaser, this song. I love it. And it will definitely qualify. Yeah, jury might not like it very much, but everyone else will enjoy seeing it, will enjoy singing along to it and dance along to it. So it's a winner for the jury. For the public.
Thanks, Bogdan. Lisa, your take on Norway?
Oh, just the same. I really, really, really want to not like it, but you can't not like it. There's something in the music, in the way that it's written, in the construction of the song that is really, really good. I wonder whether, and I know we're going to talk about Latvia as well today, but I wonder whether Latvia and Norway are going to kind of split the quirky vote a little bit. Who knows? We'll see. But I think both of them are safe qualifiers, but what happens on the Saturday night, who knows? I don't want to like it, but I do really like it.
Thanks, Lisa. James, tell us about Norway.
I was the same as both Lisa and Sarah. I sort of didn't really want to like it, when I saw previews, everything, I thought, it's a gimmick and that. But the performance, it's flawless. It's one of those few national final performances you can just lift it, put it on stage in Turin, keep the camera work the same, the choreography, everything, and it just works. It's really great. Musically, I think it does get into your head. I think it's almost got a bit of a nursery rhyme quality to it. It just somehow gets in your brain and stays there. I can see Norway sweeping the televote with this on Saturday night very, very easily.
James, Richard, over to you.
Anybody that knows the story, Little Red Riding Hood, would know the thing about the grandma eating, the wolf eating the grandma. But I agree with everybody else. It's a gimmick that's going to work one of two ways. Televoters will go for it. Jury voters won't go for it. They've rehearsed it to an inch of its life. It won't have a problem getting through to the final, that's for sure.
Thanks. Yeah, you have to agree. It's absolutely bonkers. It's Daft Punk on lupine speed, isn't it? And it's a guaranteed absolute floor filler. It's got a darn good hook to it, and I think if there's going to be a TikTok winner, that could well be it. It's just begging to be parodied on TikTok. So yeah, I think it's generally a thumbs up, and Staggy likes it too, even though it's wolves involved. But anyway, song 2 tonight. We're going to move to move further south, and our next song is from Malta, and that's called Out of Sight, and it's been performed by Emma Muscat. Now I've got the writers down here, and Emma is actually one of them, along with Antonio Caputo, Lorenzo Santarelli, Gabriele Rossi, and Marco Saladieri, if I can read my writing. Sounds like a bit of an Italian sort of vibe going on there. And Bogdan's going to take over this one. Off you go.
Thank you, John. Well, about Malta, I really had high hopes this year because after last year with Destiny, Jamakas, I was expecting something that will wow me even more. I will start with the positive first. So Emma, she's really charismatic. She has a good voice. She connects really well with the camera. The problem is the song. I'm sorry to say that. The problem is the song, not her voice, not her presence on the stage. I listened to it at least 4 times and tried to make up an opinion. And the thing is, it doesn't have the chorus that we all want and love at Eurovision to be able to sing along. It has the high notes, it has moments, but you can't sing along to it. And that's a really big problem. At Eurovision, in order to captivate the audience, you must be able to remember the song. I can't sing this song. I struggle to remember the title of the song. So she's very charismatic, good voice, great presence. But I'm afraid it's going to struggle on the night. Because also, she will have to change the performance because, as we all know, we are not allowed to have people under 16 years of age on the stage. So I don't know what's going to be the story of the song. I hope they're going to make something that will wow us. And yeah, with the wow performance, they might stand a chance. But as it is, I'm a bit struggling to see this as a qualifier.
Well done. Lisa, what do you think of the Maltese song?
Yeah, I mean, fairly similar, really. The song is called Out of Sight, and I feel like that might be a little bit prophetic because I think this song just hovers along out of sight of anybody really wanting to say anything about it. There's not a lot you can say about it. And like Bogdan said, this is nothing about Emma. She's clearly a very, very talented performer, but this song is far, far inferior to her. So I think this is a big, big step back for Malta, and I'm really sad about that.
Lisa, James, what do you think of the Maltese song?
Well, Lisa just used the word hover, and I feel like that's what it does. For me, it felt like it took a long time to sort of feel like it was starting up, and then it doesn't really go anywhere once it gets there. As Bogdan said, I think Emma's very charismatic. She's got stage presence, and I think that's sort of the one thing, the saving grace about this song really, is that it's Emma performing it. But yeah, it feels sort of quite lackluster. Feels like it doesn't really go anywhere for me, and that is a real shame. And I am conscious that, you know, we're maybe all thinking about last year and how we were sort of all wowed by Destiny. The other thing I'm thinking about is, as Bogdan said, the child on stage. I mean, I know performers have to be over 16, but the child's essentially a prop at that point. Does that matter, or I don't know. Yeah, I'm sceptical about Malta's chances, which is a real shame.
Thanks, James. Richard, over to you.
No, I second everything that everybody says. Vocals are okay, stage presence brilliant. It's just a song, and to me, it just did not get going full stop. And like James said, we expect more from Malta. It's not just last year. They've had other great songs in the last decade, and this has sort of just gone a complete backwards way. So it is a bit of a worry, and at this moment in time, I can't see him qualifying, and that's before we've heard all the other songs in the semi-final.
That's Richard. Yeah, I think I've got to agree. It's I have a thing about people starting at the piano at the start of the song and then getting up and the piano carries on playing. I have a thing about that, but I'm going to let that go. It's a nice song. I get the sentiment, but nice doesn't win Eurovision. And nice might not even get you out of a semi-final these days. And the child on stage, of course. Emma's got potential, but I just fear for it that it's not the right choice for Turin somehow. Sarah finishes off with Malta, please.
I certainly will. I echo what everybody else has said. I think Emma is lovely. She's got charisma. Nothing wrong with the vocals at all. It is purely down to the song, and I can't help but think after Destiny last year, it's going to be a letdown for Malta this year. That's no reflection on Emma. I can't help but think that if she'd perhaps been given an up-tempo number in the same sort of fashion as Destiny's, maybe that might have been a better pick for her. Yeah, but yeah, with everything, I think Malta are going to struggle this year.
Sarah, right, so that was our views on Malta. Yeah, our next song tonight is Poland. Now that's River by Ochman, and it's co-written by Christian Ochman, who's Polish-American, along with Adam Wisniewski, Ashley Hickin, whose name's cropped up before, and Mikołaj Tybulec. I apologise to any Polish viewers. Yeah. Now this will be performing in the second semi-final. And Lisa's going to kick off on this one. Away you go.
Thank you, John. I'm loving that James has a flag for every occasion, but then we know James has a flag for every occasion anyway. So for me, this song from Poland came out of the blue, took me by surprise, and blew me off my feet. It's not the banger that you would think would be the sort of thing, particularly if you know me, that would kind of blow me off my feet. I think this is wonderful. It's incredibly dark, yet it's not dark, which is a very strange thing to pull off. I think it's contest ready. I don't think there's an awful lot they need to do to it other than take what they've already got and put it on the Eurovision stage. And if what I've seen and what we've seen of the stage, that there's going to be a waterfall and water on the stage, then this song plays right into that. And if they have the chance to utilize the water on the stage, then I hope that they do, because this song of anything called River lends itself so well to this stage. I think this is Poland's best shot at a win for a long time, and I'm really, really happy to see the attention that it's getting across the sort of community media and in the fan forums and things like that. And I'm really excited to see this in Turin. I've got nothing but love for Poland this year. I hope it does really, really, really well.
Thank you. Nicely positive. James, can you continue in that vein?
Oh, definitely. The moment I first heard this, it's just a little thing that goes on in your brain. You think, oh, I can see confetti coming down over this as the credits roll up over this song. It's, as we said, it's very dark. I mean, you listen to the lyrics, there's a sort of real, it's not even melancholy, it's just outright misery, but it works. It's not a morbid kind of sadness. I think it's something that I think a lot of us are feeling at the moment. We're sort of feeling worn out after the last few years, and we all relate to this feeling of I'm done. So I think that's going to tap into a lot of people's minds. Musically, it's very layered, which I enjoy. Christian can perform well. You always see a music video and think, oh, well, they can change sound, but no, he can pull it off live. Poland haven't won Eurovision before. I suspect this might be one of the last times we can say that. That's just my feeling at the moment.
Cool. Praise indeed. Richard, your take on the Polish song?
Yeah, the connection is there. You can hear the emotion in his vocals. And overall, generally, it's a strong performance. I think it's probably their strongest entry since their debut, which was runner-up back in Dublin.
Yeah, I've got to agree. I mean, when it first kicks in, and I'm getting Mad World by Gary Jules, the opening bars just reminded me of that. And that draws me, there's a familiarity there that drew me in. It's maybe a little bit Duncan Lawrence, but not enough to be totally Duncan Lawrence. He's got a cracking vocal range. He's a singer. He's a singer, and it doesn't need any bells or whistles or gimmicks. It's just him singing a good, honest song on stage with a very discreetly placed band behind him. It's brilliant. Poland, you've done good this year. So over to Sarah.
Well, what can I say? I'm totally in agreement with everybody. Absolutely gorgeous song. From the minute I heard it, I was just completely entranced. And it's not often I can feel like that about an entry, but it just blew me away. The staging, Christian's voice tells a story. It's just absolutely brilliant. And we've seen how successful Poland can be in Junior Eurovision. And I can't wait to see this, because I think this is the year that they are actually going to start to maybe become a bit of a force in the ESC.
Okay, thank you. Well done.
Well, I will echo what everyone else has said so far. This is brilliant. From the moment I heard it, wow, this is something really good. The only thing I would like to add is I would like the singer to have more connectivity with the camera, but that could be worked on, because the voice is there, the presence is there, a bit more connection with the camera, but everything else is brilliant. And at this moment, it is my favorite to win the contest.
CVP, you could be onto something here. And who wouldn't love to have two weeks of the Polish contest after the success they had of 2 junior Eurovisions a few years back? All right, moving on. Our next song tonight is from Lithuania. Now, I've actually got a song being performed in Lithuanian, and it's called Sentimentai, I think. Although probably with less of a Nottinghavian accent and more of a Lithuanian one. And it's performed by Monika Liu, who has written it under her real name of Monika Liubinaitie. Written it by herself. Now, this one is also in the first semi-final. And James is going to lead on this one.
Okay, so to start, I just want to touch on the fact that it's in Lithuanian. It's only the second full song that we've had in Lithuanian since they've started taking part in Eurovision. We've had a sort of few half and halves, and we had in 1999 Samadician, but this is sort of only the second full song in Lithuanian. I think that's to be applauded. It's also interesting how all the sort of native language songs are clustering in the first semi-final at the moment, which is a bit unusual. What can I say about this? I was quite drawn in on listening to it for the first time. It's got a very smooth, like, jazz feel to it. The way Monika performs, it's very much like a lounge singer. You can tell she's enjoying it. I love the little flourishes she does, like sort of woo and ah. You can tell she's having fun with it, and it feels very natural and very flowing, which is really good. Musically, it's very different to anything else in the contest this year so far. It's got quite a sort of a jazz feel to it. Sort of puts me in mind of like Caro Emerald, that kind of sort of modern jazz, but also sort of feels quite 1920s as well, which is really nice. Yeah, she performs it really well. Good connectivity. She looks the part, matching nail varnish, eyeshadow, frock, everything goes together, so it looks good. She performs it well. Being in Lithuanian, it's going to stand out against everything else around it. And this strikes me as the kind of song, I'm not sure it'll be an out-and-out winner, but it strikes me as the kind of song that's got enough there for a jury to say, okay, we like this, and it's going to have enough support from a televote to put it through to the final. It does strike me as the kind of song that people are going to turn around and go, oh, that qualifies, we didn't see that one coming. But no, I'm fairly confident at the moment this will see Lithuania in the final.
James, Richard, over to you.
I echo everything James said. Monika's got strong vocals and quite a strong stage presence. What the national final performance reminded me of was, and what James touched on, jazz, was Chicago, the musical. And if she can replicate the performance she did in the national final on the stage at Eurovision, I think a lot of like the one night only people that watches it that might grab their attention. So Monika could be on to a winner in that respect.
Thanks, Richard. Yeah, I like the. I got down cabaret here, but I think Chicago's a better fit. It could be something out of a musical. Then it drew me in, and I was refreshingly pleased it was in Lithuanian. Not that I could understand Lithuanian, but I just like the way they use their own language. On the downside, I seem to think that it might have been a 2-minute song originally, and they had to pad it out to get the extra minute out of it. I think I after 2 minutes, I think I'd heard all I needed to hear, and the rest was a bit superfluous. But that's just me. Nothing wrong with it, and for me, it's probably one of the best Lithuanian ones I've heard in quite a few years. Sarah, what have you got to make of Lithuania?
Well, we've already heard the word musical mentioned, and I have to agree with that. My first impression of it when I first saw it was it very much reminds me of sitting watching a musical. I think Monika sells it really well. She's got a good voice. She knows how to, I think she will certainly know how to gain an audience and grab the attention. I think Lithuania could do well with this. I'm not so sure it's going to get as many televotes, but I think the juries are definitely going to go for something like this.
Sarah, Bogdan, over to you.
Well, definitely the song is unique, and I doubt we're going to hear something very similar in this year's contest. Like Sarah said, I see this doing well with the juries. I'm afraid the public won't back it up, so. But we shall see. I think it can qualify, but I don't see it doing it brilliantly. Like, for example, last year for me, it was a surprise. Black Mamba singing it on the stage. I thought, wow, that's really gone up in my expectations. But this song, I don't know if I'm gonna be surprised in Turin. But I hope it will do well, and it has a chance to qualify.
Thanks, Bogdan. Right, okay. Last but certainly not least, Lisa, what have you got to say about the Lithuanian song?
I do really like this. This is one of my favourites so far. I have concerns over it, and they're sort of all the ones that you've shared, particularly that it really is a 2-minute 20 song that they've sort of had to stretch a little bit. That said, I think Monika sells it so well. She's so perfect for this. It's entirely, you know, I talk about this like, you know, the concept of terroir in wine, that it has to reflect like where it's come from. This song is Lithuanian, and it's Monika. It's like, it's everything that it needs to be. I absolutely adore it, but I do have some concerns for it, sadly. And like you, John, I went immediately to Cabaret, and I think it sits. I could see Liza Minnelli singing this 30 years ago.
Yeah. Okay, thank you, team. So that was Lithuania. Okay, 4 down, 2 to go. Our next one is Lithuania's neighbours, Latvia, and that is "Eat Your Salad." Eat Your Salad by Citi Zeni, I think. Now, it's written by the band. I'm not going to mention all their names. They know who they are, and they know they've written it all. And Richard's going to lead on this one. Off you go.
Yeah, Eat Your Salad. It's an interesting entry, isn't it? They're quite an eccentric group, you know, to say. Vocally in tune altogether, which on first impression I didn't expect. And when the entries were introduced in Latvia earlier in the year or December time, I don't think anybody really thought this could do any well. Yes, there's controversial lyrics, which you all know the crowd is going to shout out when it just goes quiet. I don't think the EBU have asked them to be replaced, which it's a good thing or bad thing, I don't know. It will get the attention of the televoters. There's no question about that. So I think we'll probably see them do a lot better than we expect. And when we sat in the press centre before, during the final, you know, after like Say None Enough and San Marino back in Tel Aviv, everybody's going to sing along to it. Everybody's going to be inputting the lyrics that aren't going to be sung on stage. It's a televote song, it's not a jury song.
Thanks, Richard. Yeah, I think I've got to agree with that. It's absolutely bonkers. And it's in the first semi-final. I meant to say earlier, it's in the first semi-final. But it's utterly bonkers. better than some of Latvia's recent efforts, in my opinion, anyway. So that's a good thing. I've no idea how it's going to go. It's a foot tapper. It's going to please the crowd. I just don't think it's going to please the juries as much. They're going to want something with a little bit more substance, maybe. Interesting message in it. Makes me smile. What more do you want? Sarah, over to you.
Yeah, this is an interesting one because it kind of sort of, you can put it alongside Norway for the bonkers element of it. Having said that, it's fun. It's certainly memorable. And I do agree that I think it's going to be more of a televote catcher rather than juries. I can't see the juries somehow going for this in big time.
Sarah, Bogdan, what do you think of the Latvian song?
Well, Citi Zeni are not Citi Zeni. So, yeah, if Norway has a chance to score with the jury as well, I'm not so sure about Lithuania. Sorry, Latvia. And yeah, it's a fun song. It's definitely gonna get points from televotes, but I'm not so sure it's gonna get enough to get her to the finals. But we shall see. I will definitely enjoy it, and I will know I will sing along.
Thanks, Bogdan. Lisa, what's your take on this song?
I mean, quite similar to what I said about Norway. I kind of want to not like it, but it is good. I do quite enjoy it. I think it will qualify. I think it will qualify quite easily. Semi-final 1 is a little bit more open than semi-final 2. I think it was in semi-final 2. I might have a few more concerns about it, but I think it will qualify. What it does on the Saturday night, I don't know. We kind of have seen that with songs that have had that sort of slight quirkiness to them that we know are going to do well with the televote but haven't done well with the jury. We've had quite a few of those in the past, and I feel like this might just be another one of those that we all enjoy. We will be listening to in Euro clubs in years to come, but it's not really going to go anywhere other than stay within our little crowd.
Thanks, Lisa. James.
Oh, what can we say? A Eurovision song about veganism. I just hope that Piers Morgan is frothing at the mouth somewhere. It's completely nuts. As soon as Richard said that, people are going to shout out the lyrics in question, I was just like, oh, I hadn't thought of that, but that's exactly what's going to happen. It's mental. I think there is a path to the final for it. I do wonder, there seems to be a lot of very upbeat, slightly wacky songs in semi-final 1, so I do wonder who's going to cancel out who. But it's definitely memorable, and I'm sort of very much in the camp of, I don't really want to like it, but then I find I'm singing it for most of the days, so...
James, right. Our final review tonight, and we're staying with the Baltics, and we're moving a bit further north to Estonia. Yeah, what winners once in the dim and distant past. I'm taking this one, and the song is called Hope, and it's by Stefan, and it's been written by Stefan under his full name of Stefan Aripechian and Carl Ander Reisman, and it's performing in the second semi-final. This one. Now, I love it. Absolutely love it. Loved it from the first moment I heard it. This is good. It gets me from the very first riff with that proper guitar-y riff. It's brilliant. Cracking verse, and I love the soaring chorus. The stage performance doesn't need any more doing to it. Him with his guitar, microphone, two cowboys at the side of the stage staring daggers at each other, just gives it a bit of atmosphere. Could even make a good radio song or a film soundtrack song, I think. One of those big road movies across the US, maybe it would fit in perfectly. So very well staged, and I also love the official video, which was filmed in a desert in southern Spain. For me, what's not to like? Definite thumbs up from me. Sarah, what do you think of the Estonian song?
Yeah, now I'm a fan of Estonian entries, and there've been some pretty good ones over the years, as well as being some not so good ones. I absolutely love this. I'm not normally a fan of sort of, if you're looking at sort of films that it could be a theme tune of a film. I'm not normally sort of a fan of the sort of Western movies, but I had to say I was really drawn in by this. He's a brilliant stage performer, really sells the song well. I love the staging. I don't think there's much more work that needs doing to it. It's going to be interesting to see how this goes down in Turin.
Sarah. Bogdan, your views on Estonia, please.
I just love it. What can I say? After Poland, this comes kind of second or third in my preferences. So I see it definitely a qualifier. Estonia will be back in the final. Brilliant song, brilliant voice. I'm a bit concerned about the cowboys on the stage, because I'm not sure EBU will want to encourage that kind of, I don't know, attitude, but we'll see what we'll get on in Turin. But yeah, definitely it's a really good song.
Thanks, Bogdan. Lisa, what do you think?
I adore this. I mean, I love country music. I've loved country music since I was small, and this is how you do a country pop rock crossover. This is exactly how you do it. This is textbook, and like, gold standard PhD stuff. This is brilliant. I absolutely love it. I mean, you've got 3 of my favorite songs so far in this one review tonight, which is great. I'm loving this. But yeah, I absolutely love this. A bit like what James was saying for Poland, I can see credits going over this. I could have a vision for that. Whether it will happen or not, I don't know, because there's 2 or 3 that I can see credits rolling over so far, and we're only halfway sort of through the reveal of songs. But this for me is absolutely marvelous. Love it.
Thanks, Lisa. James, what do you think?
I think it's definitely very country, and that sort of immediately stands out. And as you were saying about the guitar riffs, you can't be indifferent to them, because the moment that sort of twangs through it, you're just hooked onto it. It put me a bit in mind of the theme tune to Bonanza, which I know is a really strange thing to say, but that was sort of what I thought of when I first heard it. He's got good stage presence. He performs well. There's an intensity to him, but there's also a sort of playful side. So it's not sort of frightening. Staring down the camera with a country song can be quite intense, but he seems quite laid back with it. I do suspect what Bogdan said about the EBU and not wanting to promote gunfighting on a family TV show. I do wonder if they'll edit that slightly, but yeah, it's the kind of song I didn't expect to like it, but it definitely goes in there and you can't be indifferent to it. So I think Estonia are probably very safe this year.
James. And last but not least, Richard, what do you think of the Estonian song this year?
I love it. Stefan's got strong vocals. He's got strong stage presence. He knows how to perform it. I love the Wild West style type of staging. Obviously, like the others have said, the EBU probably won't allow cowboys with guns on stage, but they'll work around that. Estonia will know what to do. And yes, they don't need to improve the stage show, but I can see something really impressive happening on stage in Turin. Big thumbs up.
Thanks, Richard. So that's the review, all 6 songs. So now, as in our previous review, what we're going to do is give them each a score out of 10. Now, because there's 6 songs tonight in this review, we're going to discount the lowest score and just take the top 5 scores, so it gets a score out of 50. We'll start with Norway. Sarah, what's your score for Norway?
9.
9. Bogdan?
I'll give it a strong 7.
7. And Lisa?
8.
8. And James?
9.
9. Richard?
7.
And it's worth a 7 from me as well. So that gets a score of 40. Because we've discounted one of the 7s. That's 40 out of 50. Not bad. Right, next is Malta. Bogdan, what's your score for Malta?
I'm really sorry for Malta, just for the presence and the voice, not for the song. So it's a 4. I'm sorry.
For Malta. Lisa?
A rather generous 5.
First 5. James.
I'm going to give it a 4.
4. Richard.
I'm really sorry, Malta, but it's a 3, which I thought I was being very generous.
3. I'm afraid it's only worth a 4 from me as well. Sorry, Malta. And Sarah, your score for Malta?
Sorry, but it's a 4 from me.
That scores, discounting Richard's 3, that scores 21. Of course, dear viewer, you'll see the scores appear above and below. Right, next we take Poland. And Lisa's going to lead off with this one.
10.
A 10. Oof. 10. James.
Le Pologne, 10 points.
Another 10. Richard.
10.
10. I'm giving it a 9. And that's purely because he doesn't make that much contact with the camera at this point, but I'm sure that can be remedied. But it might not make any difference. Sarah.
10.
10. And Bogdan.
10.
10. So in the end, it's not made any difference. He scored a 50 out of 50. Well done, Ochman. The front runner so far.
We just stop the whole contest here. Just announce Poland
could,
as the winner
yeah.
and go to Poland next year. That sounds
Yes,
great.
the 6 of us have decided we're going to Warsaw next year. Or Gliwice. We're moving on. Lithuania is next on our list. Wait for the Lithuanian flag to appear there. James, what's your score for Lithuania?
I'm going to give Lithuania an 8.
8. And Richard?
9.
9. I'm giving it an 8 as a 7. Sorry, a 7 as well because of my reasons explained earlier. Sarah?
7 from me.
7. Bogdan?
7.
7. And Lisa?
Well, 9 from me, which feels very transgressive in a Eurovision thing to use the number 9. How bizarre.
So that gives us a score of 40 because we're discounting one of the 7s again. Not bad. Latvia next. Richard, what's your score for Latvia?
I'm giving it an 8 because it's slightly more bonkers than Norway. Plus, I think the televotes are going to go for it.
Okay, I'm going to give Latvia an 8. And Sarah?
I give them a 7.
Thank you. Bogdan?
Again, a 7.
7. Okay. Lisa?
Yeah, it's a 7 from me. I don't think it's just not quite as good as Norway when it comes to the actual song.
Okay. And James?
I feel really mean now because I wanted to give it 5.
5. Well, I made that reckoning to me as a 37 because we're discarding the 5 anyway. And finally, Estonia, and I'm going to lead on that one, and that's worth a 9 from me. Sarah?
I'm going to give it an 8.
9.
Bogdan?
10.
Lisa?
10.
Another 10. James?
7 from me.
7. And Richard?
9.
9.
I really want to go back to Tallinn though, so you know.
So by my reckoning, and I'm sure there's the score was above below confirmed, that gives it a score of 45. So in reverse order, our 6 for today are Malta with 21, Latvia, there we go, on 37. Then we have Lithuania on 40, and also Norway on 40. On 45, we have Estonia. And top of the shop, can't be beaten, can be equaled, Poland. So well done to Ochman. TVP could be onto something. Right, now we know that Lisa mentioned that 3 of her favourite songs so far are in this 6. I'm going to go around the screen and ask, could a potential winner come from any of these 6 songs? So Sarah, what do you think?
Oh, definitely. I think definitely. I'd say definitely 1, possibly 2 in this.
To name them.
Yeah. Okay, Poland. Yeah. And I think Norway could be a surprise package.
Okay, thank you, Sarah. Bogdan, what do you think?
Poland is for me at this stage.
Just Poland?
Just Poland.
Okay. Lisa, could a winner come from these 6?
Yeah, definitely Poland, potentially Norway, which scares me because I can't afford to spend 2 weeks in Oslo, and the outside shot for Estonia.
James, what do you think of tonight's 6?
I think definitely potential first win for Poland, and I think we could be in for a terrifying shock with Norway if they come high enough in the jury vote and win the televote. So these 2, I think. Poland also, I suspect.
Richard?
I could see Poland winning it at this stage of the songs we've heard, but I could also see Estonia and Lithuania possibly hitting the top 5.
Yeah, I think we're going to go along with this. Poland have got a potential winner on their hands this year. But if the juries go for it, Norway could spring a surprise because the televoters are going to love it. And maybe Estonia for a very good song in its genre. So, dear viewer, thanks for staying with us for this little review. There will be more to follow with more songs for us to review. Feel free to comment on what you think. Do you agree with us? Do you think we're barking up the wrong tree? Of course, you can follow us on the website, on YouTube, on Facebook, on Twitter, on Instagram, on TikTok, and there's probably something else I've forgotten as well. I'd like to thank Lisa for taking part as our guest reviewer tonight.
Thank you.
Where can we find you on social media, or would you rather not say, Lisa?
Yeah, you can find me on Twitter. You can find me on Instagram. If you just type in my name, Lisa Jane Lewis, there is only one of me, so you'll find me.
TV's Lisa Jane Lewis.
Well, indeed.
Yeah. Okay, so yeah, it's bye from Sarah.
Bye, everyone.
Bye from Bogdan.
Bye, everyone.
Bye from James.
Bye, everyone. Take care.
Bye from Richard.
See you soon.
Bye from Lisa. And
Bye.
and bye from me and Staggy. Stay tuned.